From the dawn of civilization along the fertile banks of the Yellow River, a story began to unfold, a story of dynasties, inventions, and a culture that would shape the world. This is the epic tale of the Chinese Empire, a civilization that rose, fell, and was reborn, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Our journey begins over 4,000 years ago with the legendary Xia dynasty, a period shrouded in myth but foundational to Chinese identity. It was here that the concept of the mandate of heaven first took root, the belief that a ruler's right to govern was bestowed by the gods, a mandate that could be lost if they failed their people. This idea would become the very lifeblood of Chinese political thought for millennia. Then came the Shang, masters of bronze, who left behind intricate vessels and the earliest known form of Chinese writing on oracle bones. Imagine priests carving questions into turtle shells, heating them until they cracked, and reading the patterns to divine the future. This was a world where spirits and ancestors played an active role in daily life. The Shang gave way to the Zhou dynasty, the longest reign in Chinese history. It was a time of great intellectual awakening, often called the 100 Schools of Thought. Thinkers like Confucius roamed the land, pondering questions of morality, governance, and social order. His teachings on respect, filial piety, and righteousness would become the cornerstone of Chinese society, influencing everything from family life to imperial administration. At the same time, Laozi introduced the philosophy of Taoism, encouraging harmony with the natural flow of the universe. The Tao. These profound ideas, born from a period of political turmoil, would echo through the ages, but the Zhou's control eventually fractured, plunging China into the Warring States period. For centuries, 7 powerful states battled for supremacy. It was an era of constant warfare, but also of incredible innovation. Ironworking became widespread. Armies grew larger and more sophisticated, and grand projects like the Dujiangyin irrigation system showcased incredible engineering prowess. Out of this chaos, one state emerged victorious, the Qin. In 221 BC, its ruthless and ambitious leader, Yingxing, conquered all his rivals and proclaimed himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. His reign was short but revolutionary. He standardized weights, measures, currency, and even the width of cart axles to unify his vast empire. He connected existing walls to create the first iteration of the Great Wall, a colossal undertaking to defend against northern invaders. And most famously, he commissioned an army of thousands of life-size terracotta warriors to guard him in the afterlife, a breathtaking testament to his power and his quest for immortality. Yet, his rule was harsh, marked by book burnings and the suppression of dissent, and his dynasty crumbled shortly after his death. From the ashes of the Qin rose the Han dynasty, a golden age that would define Chinese identity for centuries to come. The Han emperors embraced Confucianism as the state ideology, establishing an imperial bureaucracy where officials were chosen based on merit through civil service examinations, a system far ahead of its time. The Silk Road flourished, a network of trade routes connecting China to the Roman Empire. Silk, spices, and porcelain flowed westward, while new ideas, cultures, and religions, including Buddhism, traveled east. This era saw incredible inventions, papermaking, the compass, and the seismograph, tools that would change the course of human civilization. The Han Dynasty was a period of prosperity, expansion, and cultural brilliance, so profound that the majority ethnic group in China still calls themselves the Han people today. After 400 years, the Han Dynasty also fell, leading to another period of division known as the Three Kingdoms, a dramatic era of heroes and warlords. Immortalized in literature and legend, China would not be truly whole again until the Sui dynasty, which, like the Qin, was short-lived but laid crucial groundwork. The Sui emperors completed the Grand Canal, a monumental waterway linking the north and south, facilitating trade and solidifying unity. This paved the way for another glorious chapter, the Thames Dynasty. Often hailed as the high point of Chinese civilization, Tang China was a cosmopolitan metropolis. Its capital, Chang'an, was the largest and most vibrant city in the world. A melting pot of cultures from across Asia. Poetry and art flourished under emperors like Taizong and Xuanzong. Women enjoyed a higher status than in many other periods, and the empire's influence stretched far and wide. The Thames was a confident, open, and innovative society, a true cultural superpower. Following the Thames, the Song dynasty emerged. While militarily weaker than its predecessor, the Song was a period of unprecedented economic and technological advancement. It was during the Song that gunpowder, once used for fireworks, was first adapted for military use. Movable type printing was invented, making books more accessible than ever before and leading to a surge in literacy. The world's first paper money was introduced, revolutionizing commerce. Song dynasty cities hummed with commercial activity, and its artists created some of the most sublime landscape paintings in history. However, this prosperity was shattered by the arrival of the Mongols, led by the brilliant and brutal Genghis Khan and his successors. The Mongol hordes swept across Asia. His grandson, Kublai Khan, conquered the Song in 1279 and established the Yuan dynasty, making China part of the vast Mongol Empire. For the first time, China was ruled by outsiders. It was a period of cultural exchange, with figures like Marco Polo visiting and documenting the wonders of the East. But it was also a time of tension and resentment. The Chinese people eventually rose up and overthrew the Mongols, establishing the Ming dynasty. Determined to restore Han Chinese traditions, the Ming emperors strengthened the Great Wall into the magnificent structure we know today. They built the Forbidden City in Beijing, a sprawling imperial palace that served as the political and ritual center of the empire for 500 years. The Ming era is famous for its exquisite porcelain vases and for the epic naval expeditions of Admiral Zheng, whose massive treasure fleets sailed as far as Africa decades before European explorers began their voyages of discovery. The final imperial chapter belongs to the Qing dynasty, founded by Manchu invaders from the north. The Qing expanded the empire to its greatest territorial extent, incorporating Tibet, Xinjiang, and Mongolia. Under long-reigning emperors like Kangxi and Qianlong, China experienced a long period of peace and prosperity. However, The Qing also enforced a policy of isolation, closing the country off from the rest of the world, just as the West was experiencing the Industrial Revolution. This self-imposed isolation left China vulnerable. The Opium Wars and subsequent unequal treaties marked a century of humiliation as foreign powers carved out spheres of influence and internal rebellions weakened the imperial court. By the early 20th century, the once mighty empire was crumbling. In 1912, the last emperor Pui abdicated, bringing an end to over 2,000 years of imperial rule. The story of the Chinese Empire is a vast and complex tapestry woven with threads of conquest and philosophy, art and warfare, innovation and tradition. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration of history, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of our next video.